How's it going, Isuzu crew? Wanted to share a little tidbit I learned today working on this 2001 Isuzu Rodeo, the sport that I've had. As anybody who owns one of these things knows, cataloging on them is sparse, parts are sparser, and you've got to be a real master of measuring and cross-referencing to kind of find parts that'll work for these things. But I think it's a lot of fun, and I made a discovery today that I wanted to share with you. Hopefully it helps a couple of you guys out. So the problem I've got with this one, like most Isuzus of this generation would have, your Axioms, Via Crosses, Rodeos, Amigos, Rodeo Sports, even the Troopers, are these driver and passenger door jamb switches. They just have a tendency to break down, fall apart, and as you can see, I don't know if this will focus or not, but this boot is just long gone. Over time, this has been sticking a bit. I've had a couple times where I've came out to a dead battery because those lights are just not turning off. And as you may be aware, this part has been discontinued since about 2014, 2015. Yes, they cross over with the Honda Passport, but unfortunately, whatever manufacturer made this particular switch is no longer making them. You cannot get this part through Honda. You can't get it through a Isuzu Parts Center. It just doesn't exist. Nothing on Rock Auto, nothing on Amazon, nothing at the local parts store. What you can get is this. Obviously, this does not fit the Rodeo Sport with it not having a back door. This is the back door switch. As you can see, it looks fairly similar in that little toggle. This one's obviously in better shape. This one would have been for like a 4-door Rodeo or Trooper. But as you can see, a little different style there. This will not work for the front. I'll pull, this is the other one that I swapped. So as you can see, this has a 2-pin connector on the back for the driver and the passenger side, whereas the back door is this single metal pin. You can't actually convert these to work. It doesn't bolt up directly, but you could change the pigtail back here and make this work. But I found a better solution and I wanted to share. So while this part does not exist, there is a part that does exist that I found that is a direct bolt-on and even has the correct clip adapter. It is not cataloged for this vehicle, but it works perfectly for it. And that is this AC Delco part number right here. I'll kind of focus there. So it's a GM 159056665. This is a door jamb switch for a Hummer H3, fits the Chevy Colorado, GMC Canyon of a few years, kind of at the same time that this vehicle, kind of at the tail end of when Isuzu was selling in the States. This is like early 2000s Hummer, and there are a couple GM part numbers, but the Colorado and Canyon are the most common applications. But if I open this up, give me a second. It comes with a screw, which you will not use for this application. It's too small of a diameter, and that just pops out. But as you can see, I'll kind of compare side by side. There is the GM, the Delco unit, and here is the factory Isuzu unit. You can see the pigtail on the back is identical, so it'll work with your factory switch pigtail. You don't need to undo any wiring. The only real difference here, if you look at them, is the screw. The screw diameter is slightly smaller on the GM unit, so you'll just have to reuse your factory screw from your Isuzu, which will thread right in. You don't need to drill it out or anything, but it'll bolt right up. So I'm going to show you guys real quick just how easy it is. But basically, to do this entire job, you just need one tool, just a Phillips head screwdriver. And forgive me, I'm trying to do this one-handed so I can show you guys. So a little cumbersome on the camera. But you'll just unscrew that screw using a Phillips head. Once again, don't use that, lose that, you're gonna reuse that. And then you'll pull this out, and this just kind of pulls, I'll show you. It just kind of pulls down and out. It has a pigtail behind here. It'll be usually a red wire. Yep, a single red wire. And then there's actually on this side, the other passenger side, it's a single red wire. On this side, there's it looks like a supply and a return wire is probably connected to that passenger side. So you'll have 2 wires there on a pigtail. And if you see right here, right there, there's a little release. So you'll just kind of press that, and then I'm gonna try to do this gingerly with one hand. Actually, I'm gonna set this down for a second. Hopefully put this somewhere where you can see. You just wanna be very ginger because these wires, you don't want to pinch them or pull them, but you're just gonna kind of apply pressure here on this pigtail and then slowly kind of wiggle it out. If it hasn't been done in a while, I haven't done this side yet. It just takes a little bit of persuasion, and there we go. And that pops right out, and it leaves you this pigtail. And then, once again, as you can see, there's the old beat up one. You can see how bad that's worn. And here's the new Delco unit, made in Mexico. You don't have to get the Delco. Amazon does have even cheaper options for this. You're just using the application for that GMC Canyon, Hummer, Colorado, like I said. Once again, if you cross-reference that part number I showed you, you should be able to get to the right product. I went with a name brand product because I plan on keeping this vehicle a while and I want these to work. But you can there's a lot of Chinese knockoffs that you can get of these as well if you just want to do it cheap and dirty. I just wanted to make sure it would work. So reinstallation, let's see if I can set this up, is as simple as just clicking it in, there, slide it in, and then once again we're going to reuse our old screw, align that up with the hole, and there is a little, make sure you can see that, there is a little lip on the top there. See those little plastic teeth? Those just need to slide in. So you got to like slide them in, gentle upward pressure, and then it'll thread right on. And that's the entirety of the installation. I'll show you that it works. Give me 1 second to get this set up. There we go. And I realize for the majority of you, you don't need this video. You just need that part number. So hopefully that helps something. But yeah, so you can see this piece does stick out a little further. It's an extra bumper that the Delco units and the GM units had that the factory unit did not. It does not impact the door's ability to close at all. If anything, it's probably the reason that these were breaking was because they didn't have any kind of bumper, that it was just forcing this mechanically shut all the way and really doing some damage to this because it had nothing else to share that load. This is a better design because it's got the little piece, I mean, that's just rubber to kind of split the load of that door closing. So hopefully this won't wear out quite as fast. That's just my hope. It seems like a better designed unit, but you can see that's recessed in there. The screw gets good penetration. It's not just barely clinging on there. All intents and purposes, it's an identical switch. It just looks slightly different because of this extra piece of rubber. So, but as you can see, door lights are on over there. I'm gonna shut this and they're off. So I hope that helps somebody. I know it's been driving me crazy for a while on this vehicle every time I open the door and see that. And I think I got these from AutoZone for like 36 bucks for the pair. Like I said, I think you can get a pair of them on Amazon, cheap Chinese ones for like 12 bucks. So really cheap and easy solution. Hopefully that fixes some problems for some of you. And yeah, on to the next one. We'll be making some videos on throwing that bad boy in this automatic here. So hopefully I can help some people out here. Cheers.